Have you ever wondered what luxury beauty products are truly worth investing in? For me, this summer, it came down to these 15 incredible favorites. Hi, I am Salima, and on this channel, we are all about discovering the best in luxury makeup, skincare, hair care, and fragrance. Today, I am sharing my absolute must haves that are in constant rotation. Let's get started. First product I wanted to talk about is the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Gold Tint. Honestly, I'm not sure how I should categorize this product. Chantecaille is known for a skincare focused approach with their makeup, and this product is a perfect example. When I originally bought it, I intended to use it as a primer, and it truly excels there. It has a subtle yellow tint that provides a beautiful, natural brightening effect on the skin. Nothing over the top, just a lovely lift. It has these finely milled gold particles. I wouldn't even call them glitter or shimmer. They're just tiny specks that add the most gorgeous, diffuse luminosity to your complexion. It's that signature Chantecaille look that is effortless, natural, but never too much. Now, here's where the versatility comes in. When I want that subtle brightening and extra glow, I use it as a primer. But because of its wonderful gel like texture, I sometimes reach for it as a lightweight moisturizer under my sunscreen. It just gives my skin that added hydration without feeling heavy. So, whether I'm using this product as a primer or a moisturizer, it delivers. I love it and I highly recommend it. This gold shade is my favorite, and I think it would work beautifully for a wide range of skin tones. I wanted to give honorable mention to a product that I have had in my collection for ages, the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. This is a great product, but I'll be honest with you, it's a little high maintenance. It's one of those products that you have to use a specific way, but when you do, the results are absolutely worth it. I only reach for this when I have a lot of texture that needs to be blurred, or if I want to control the shine on my T zone. You only need a tiny amount for an instant smoothing effect. The secret to making it work is to let it dry down for at least 4 to 5 minutes before you apply your next product. If I don't, I have found that it can peel really badly. But once it's set, no matter what foundation or skin tint I use on top, my makeup looks so flawless and smooth. It does a fantastic job of controlling shine and making everything last. So while I really enjoy it, I know this isn't the easiest product to use, and it's definitely not for everyone. But if you have that patience, the results are incredible. When the warmer months hit, I go for something light on my skin, usually a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer. And this summer, my absolute go to has been the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch. Now, a lot of people love the Chanel's popular water fresh tint, which I have used and loved for ages. But once I finished my bottle, I thought, why not try its higher coverage alternative, the Complexion Touch? And I love this even more. It has that same incredible formula as the original Water Fresh tint, so it feels like you're applying a super hydrating serum to your skin. And it sets down to the most natural skin like finish. It is beautiful. But here's why it surpassed the Water Fresh tint for me: its versatility. I take about half a pump and apply it to my face using my fingers. I get that same beautiful light coverage as the original Water Fresh tint. But when I use a full pump, I have a medium coverage. It is so easy to build up the coverage exactly where I need it without looking cakey or heavy, which was not possible with the Water Fresh tint. It looks like my skin, but perfected. Considering how little product you need, I honestly think this bottle is going to last me for ages, even if I wear a full pump every single day. For me, it's definitely worth every single penny. Now, for an actual foundation I have been loving ever since I got is the Givenchy Serum Blurring Foundation. I have put this up against so many other luxury foundations in my collection, and it truly stands out. There are two main things that makes me obsessed with this one. First, you might be noticing a trend here, but it's all about that lightweight serum-like texture. It feels like applying a luxurious skincare product, but without sacrificing any coverage. This foundation gives you an effortless medium coverage and it never feels heavy on the skin. But the real standout feature for me is how blurring it is. It perfects everything, smooth out any imperfections, and leave my skin looking incredibly radiant and fresh. It's like a soft focus filter in a bottle. Undoubtedly, this has quickly become one of my absolute favorite makeup launches of 2025. Now, let's talk about a product category I thought I would never love: face powders. As someone with dry skin, I typically avoid powders because they can so easily cling to my dry patches, settle into fine lines, and just make my skin look dull. But these two products have completely changed my mind. First up is the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder. I bought this when Givenchy reformulated their loose powder, and I honestly think this is a great alternative to that beloved old formula. While it doesn't have that color correcting qualities of the old Givenchy powder, it is just as finely milled and blurring on the skin. It never sits on the top of my skin or in my pores. Instead, it provides that beautiful airbrush finish that looks like a second skin, not a layer of makeup. I wouldn't call this an oil control powder, but it does a great job at controlling some of the shine without making my skin look flat or matte. I believe that if you have dry, dehydrated, or mature skin, you're going to fall in love with this. I also wanted to give an honorable mention to a press powder. I have been loving the Givenchy Prism Libre press powder. Givenchy markets that this powder has a blurring and matte finish. And while I completely agree with the blurring effect, I don't find that it has a true matte finish on the skin. It's not a dry, talc heavy powder. Instead, it has this silky, tightly packed texture that prevents that powdery look. It leaves behind a beautiful natural finish. Just like the Chanel loose powder, it gives my skin that soft and airbrushed look, and thankfully, it doesn't contain any shimmer or glitter. This has become my go to powder for when I am traveling or in a rush and don't want to deal with the mess of a loose powder. It's also fantastic for setting my under eyes or the crease around my nose thanks to that subtle color correcting quality that brightens and creates a more even tone base without needing extra concealer. For my bronzer, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to anyone that I am in love with the Hermes Healthy Glow Mineral Powder. And honestly, this product delivers on both the stunning packaging and the incredible performance. And that's why it's one of my top favorites of the season. This is another one of those finely milled powders, so I have noticed just a tiny bit of fallout. But for the most part, it has this silky smooth texture that blends into the skin so seamlessly. I would describe it as a moderately pigmented formula. So you do get a beautiful bronze color on your cheeks, but because the finish is so skin like, it gives you that perfect warmth and depth without looking artificial. The shade I've been using is Sahara, and the reason why I love it so much is because it has a subtle red undertone. It's just enough to give you this stunning, healthy, sun kissed warmth without looking like a sunburn. It gives me the most beautiful natural tan effect. So, considering how luxurious it feels to use and the flawless finish it provides, I think this bronzer is absolutely worth the money. Before we dive into blushes, if you're enjoying this video and all the luxury beauty discussion, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you love getting straight to the point reviews, swatches, and comparisons, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an upload from me. All right, let's talk blushes. To be honest, I love blushes. So these past summer months, I've been wearing a lot of different shades depending on the mood or the look I wanted to create. But I'm going to limit myself to just three. If I don't, this video will end up being way too long for me to edit. First up is the Dolce & Gabbana blush in the shade Hopeful Rose. This is a beautiful, soft, muted rose pink. And it's what I reach for when I want a pop of color that isn't too bright or punchy. In general, I'm so impressed with the Dolce & Gabbana powder formulas. They have this incredible creaminess to them that reminds me of the Valentino or the House Labs blushes. It has a gorgeous, subtle luminosity, adding that lit from within glow without emphasizing texture. And for such a creamy powder, it lasts all day without any significant fading. The next blush I've been reaching for a lot lately is the Dior Rouge blush in the shade 959 Charnelle. It almost feels like an underappreciated gem, considering how much Dior focuses on their rosy glow line. To me, this shade is such a classic, everyday peachy nude that goes with almost every single makeup look. It's that perfect shade to rely on to add a little bit of life back into my complexion. Now, this blush does contain a subtle shimmer, but it's not a glitter bomb like some of the other shades in the rosy glow line, like Dior Toffee or Candy. It gives me such a refined, soft glow, and I also find this Rouge blush formula to be more pigmented and long lasting compared to the rosy glow blushes. So it really stays put on the skin throughout the day. For a more dramatic and sultry flush on the cheeks, I've been reaching for the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush in the shade Bichette. This is a beautiful, deep berry red shade. Not a bright cherry red, but a rich red blush with a hint of plum. It's a true statement blush, but if I apply it with a light hand, it gives me this incredible, healthy, rosy glow that just makes me look so much more alive and vibrant. If you are a fan of cream blushes, I have to say that this is one of the best formulas to try. It's not very emollient and it sets down to a natural finish. So, in my experience, it has fantastic longevity, which is a huge bonus in the hot and humid summer months. This is my secret weapon for when I want to wear something outside of the typical pinks and corals and add a more sophisticated flush to my complexion. And I just have to give a quick honorable mention before we move on. I was so tempted to put these new NARS blush sticks in this video. If you saw my dedicated review, you know that I find them to be comparable to the Westman Atelier sticks. And NARS also has some beautiful shades in the lineup. But since they're still so new to me, that's the only reason they aren't officially on my favorites list. Now, this next product is a bit of a surprise even for me because I'm not really a highlighter person. But the Prada highlighter powder is another one of my best product discoveries of 2025. It's a creamed powder formula, so it blends seamlessly with my skin. It never just sits on top or accentuate my texture. Instead of a glittery or glossy look, it provides the most beautiful, natural, soft focus glow without drawing attention to itself as makeup. It's elegant and refined, not flashy or over the top. I honestly cannot believe how often I've been reaching for this. Now, for lip products, this is another category where if I don't restrict myself, this list could go on forever. In fact, if you love lip products as much as I do, I will be sure to link my dedicated playlist for you guys to check out. But first up, I have to give a huge shout out to the Prada Hydrating Lip Balm. The reason why I love it so much is that it deposits the most beautiful, thin layer of moisture and color on my lips. But it's also incredibly long lasting. Both the color and the hydration last for a decent amount of time, which is so rare for a lip balm. What makes it even better is that I can build up the color to a medium intensity, so it very easily doubles as a super hydrating lipstick. It's truly a two-in-one product, and I absolutely love it. How can I not talk about the Givenchy Rose Perfecto Shine Serum Lipstick? This is a high shine, highly pigmented, and super comfortable lipstick. I wouldn't call this a creamy formula. In fact, this lipstick has a unique serum like texture. It feels incredibly airy, almost feather light, and completely undetectable on the lips. You get all the hydration and shine without any of that sticky or heavy feeling. It doesn't have a lot of transfer, so it lasts a good 6 to 7 hours on my lips, which is honestly incredible for a glossy formula. If you are into balmy, glossy lipsticks that packs a serious color punch while still feeling like nothing, you will truly appreciate this formula. For a satin lipstick, I love the Guerlain Rouge G Satin Lipstick. I'm not only a fan of this beautiful packaging, but I also love the formula. In fact, this is the thinnest satin lipstick formula in my entire collection. And by now, I'm sure you guys can sense a pattern here. I don't like a heavy, creamy feel on my lips. I want something lightweight and comfortable with a good color payoff and decent longevity. And this lipstick checks every single box. It is so thin and lightweight on the lips that it creates a beautiful watercolor like effect. The formula has this gorgeous, translucent quality, so the color looks soft and diffused on my lips. Because of this, I think it makes it incredibly easy to pull off bold colors since my lips look naturally flush with color rather than being covered in a heavy lipstick. I actually got one for my mom and she loves it as much as I do, and she's not easy to impress. Now, you might have noticed that I'm not really into eyeshadows or intricate eye makeup. So, my go to product for making my eyes pop is the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner. It has a smooth and creamy texture, so there's absolutely no tugging or pulling of my delicate eyelid skin. I love these because of how versatile they are. I can wear it as a simple eyeliner, or I can smudge it to create the most easiest, effortless, smoky look in seconds. In fact, these days, my go to eye makeup is a quick wash of the Armani eye tint in the shade 22M, a smudge of this Victoria Beckham liner in cinnamon, and a few coats of the Gucci volumizing mascara. Since I don't have oily eyelids, these liners last on me all day without fading. I honestly love both the shades I've gotten. But I'm not going to lie, I definitely want more. All right, moving on to a few fragrances. I'm someone who samples a lot of perfumes even though I don't share them as much. I order so many decants, and once I've really made up my mind, I commit to a full size. That's exactly what happened with the Amouage guidance. I got a decant last year and it was love at first sniff. This year, I was lucky enough to snag the travel size gift set from the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and I thought it was such a great deal considering how expensive this perfume is. Honestly, I've struggled to find the right words for this scent, but the best way I can put it is that the blend of these notes is pure magic. It has an undeniable presence, but in the most elegant way. It opens up with this bright, juicy pear and a soft hint of a floral bouquet, almost like a beautiful mix of rose and jasmine. But as it dries down, it evolves into this sweet, creamy sandalwood with a nutty warmth from the hazelnut. It's truly a soft yet sexy scent that just wraps you in its elegance. When it comes to the performance, this is what I would call a beast mode fragrance, but in the most sophisticated way possible. The projection and longevity are incredible. I can even smell it on my skin after I have showered. Because of that, it's been an absolute compliment magnet in my experience, and it's the kind of fragrance that is truly signature scent worthy. Another fragrance I wanted to share is the Sunkissed Goddess by Kilian. This is such a beautiful, luxurious summer scent. When I smell it, it transports me straight to a warm, luxurious beach vacation, like I'm going to a private villa by the ocean. I can smell a blend of creamy coconut and warm vanilla, but it's mixed with these soft, exotic white florals that make it feel so fresh and effortlessly feminine. I also find it to be so versatile. I can wear it everywhere, from a casual day out to a super fancy evening. Unlike the Amouage guidance, it has a gentle presence that isn't overpowering, but it also isn't a simple skin scent. It's the kind of perfume that leaves a delicate, memorable trail wherever you go. It's not a tropical scent that can smell too synthetic or sweet. This one feels refined and expensive. It's the perfect example of a playful perfume that still feels very grown up and chic. As for what I've been loving for my body, I have to talk about the lotion version of the Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 62 fragrance. This is a fragrance I already adore for the summer months, and while it smells exactly like the famous Boom Boom cream, I find the scent actually lasts a little longer in the lotion format. This is a delicious, nutty, salty caramel fragrance that, while decadent, isn't too heavy or suffocating for the summer months. What makes the lotion so perfect for me is its lightweight formula. It absorbs so easily into the skin and doesn't leave any greasy residue, which is why I prefer it so much more over their cream version during the summer. All right, my friends, that wraps up today's video. I hope it was fun and that you enjoyed hanging out with me. Now, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what's that one luxury product that is absolutely worth the hype and worth the money for you. I'm always looking to discover new products and would love to hear your recommendations. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye for now.